exercise is the single most important factor for living longer and aging well. Let me explain it. First of all, exercise leads to the development of muscles, muscle growth, muscle stimulation, muscle movement. As a result of that, you end up burning calories, which we know is good. It's a great sugar balancer. It actually helps insulin get the sugar into the body, and it also helps some non-insulin ways of sugar getting out of the blood where it's doing that damage into the muscles where it gets used up as energy for your benefit, of course. It's a major predictor of metabolic illnesses, which I'll touch on later, and it decreases inflammation. Now, if you've seen any of my other videos, you'll hear me always talk about inflammation. Inflammation is the cornerstone of all chronic illness. It's a process that we rely on for our immune system to protect against injury, accident, and bacterial infections, cuts, and so on. But the chronic inflammation we now suffer from is causing and contributing to every single one of these chronic illnesses. So if we lower inflammation, we lower all of these chronic illnesses, even reverse them. That's why it's so important and why muscle and exercise is so important. What we know for the benefits of exercise, without any doubt, you live longer. The studies on cells, on mice, on animals, on humans, wherever there is some form of activity, and it doesn't have to be going to the gym, it just has to be some form of activity. Wherever there is some form of activity, all the species live longer. And one of the ways they show this is through what's called the telomere length. And the telomere is one of the best predictors of living longer. They're the little rubbery bands at the end of your DNA in your cells. It improves brain health without any doubt whatsoever. You want a healthy, alert brain as you age, one that functions as well as when you're in your 20s or 30s or whenever it is, then exercise is critical. Bone health. Now, I've written extensively on exercise, which ones are the best, and I've got my little 3-stage bone health improvements as a result of exercise and why there are 3 different layers and levels to it, and that's in one of the other videos I have. Gut health as well. What's really interesting, and this is mimicked in lots of these areas, but exercise outweighs poor eating. Not totally, but it pretty well outweighs poor eating. So if you're eating high rich carbohydrate, processed food, even deep fried diet, it eliminates or gets rid of some of those negative effects. Now, not permanently, but it will help benefit that through your gut health. And it shows that on other research areas too. So exercise counteracts those negative aspects of poor diet, of poor lifestyle, of not looking after yourself. So one of the first things you can do to look after yourself for your gut health is get out there and be more active. And of course, lots of information in a video I have on gut health and exercise as well. It stimulates the immune system, which is what you expect because your immune system is linked to your gut, and therefore you're more able to fight off infections and illnesses and so on the correct way. And that's why viruses tend to kill the people who are most frail and immobile, and people who are no longer able to get any physical activity. So it's a great one for protecting your immune system and protecting yourself against viruses as well. Aging well and health span. Now, this is critical because we don't all want to live longer. When I've been to the talks that I do and people say, oh, do I have to live longer? Everybody wants to live a bit longer when they're there. But it's not about the years, it's about the health span, aging well. It's about the quality of life. To be able to get up and get out of a chair when you're 67, or to be able to go for a long walk with your friends and sit down and enjoy the day or enjoy the environment, or be active with your grandchildren playing football, which is what I get to do virtually every day. So the message is, it's about enjoying your life through the physical activity that you would love to do, rather than being immobilized and not being able to do anything. So we've got the aging well and health span, and then these are all the conditions, a list, sorry, they're not all the conditions, it's a list of some of the conditions that are benefit directly from exercise. Obesity, cardiovascular disease, diabetes. As I've already said, in terms of gut health, diabetes, working with improving diabetes, the single best thing you can do for diabetes is literally exercise. Because of the role that it plays with insulin and getting the blood sugar down into the cells, exercise is absolutely fantastic for preventing and reversing diabetes. And as a result, Alzheimer's. Nobody wants to get Alzheimer's, but I'm a bit lazy today. I'm not going to get, well, get up, get out and do it, because it is the single most important factor for preventing Alzheimer's. And why? Because look at all the things it does here. Gut health, which is linked to Alzheimer's and so on. Immune system health, linked to Alzheimer's. So we know because of that effect there, it has the effect all the way down here. Parkinson's disease, mental health, depression, anxiety, stress. Again, the best thing you can do is get up and get out. Yes, you can do things. For example, in diabetes, fasting is fantastic, intermittent fasting. And again, I have a video on that and how fantastic it is for diabetes. But if you compound that with a little bit of exercise, wow, it's a multiplier effect, a synergistic effect. So mental health, depression, migraines. Exercise, again, is one of the best things to reduce the impact of migraines on your life. And yep, another video I've got. Joint health, immobility, frailty. And these ones, immobility and frailty, are the real predictors of how long you're going to live. So the more immobile you are, the more frail you are, the more frail you are, the more likely you are to be passing away from this planet very, very soon. So before you get to that stage, what you want to do is make sure that you are able to get up and get out and enjoy all those things that you used to enjoy. Fertility and even hormones are linked. Your gut health, which controls lots of the recycling and reuse of your hormones, is controlled by exercise. And exercise also affects the production of various hormones throughout the body. So there are multiple ways that it impacts it. Even in gut health, reflux and IBS are improved through exercise. IBS is irritable bowel syndrome, and lots of other studies on gut health. Literally, your microbiome, as I've already highlighted, improves literally through exercise. So you exercise, it improves the microbiome, it improves your broad aspects of health, and does all these other things as well. If you've liked this video, subscribe, share it with a friend,